You are watching a senior adventure that is a follow-up to our Hastings Riverside Cemetery Notable Graves in History video, published on April 28, 2023. In this video, we will explore some additional notable graves, unusual monuments, and mausoleums. We begin with the grave of James Albert Sweezey, 1828 to 1898. He settled in Hastings in 1851. He and his father, William B. Sweezey, entered into a partnership, and together they practiced law under the name of Sweezey and Sweezey. He also built a home on his 500-acre farm south of the city. He organized the burial lodge of the Knights of Pythias, which is an organization we will explore later in this video. If the name Sweezey sounds familiar to you, you must have attended Hastings High School, or you may have spent some time in and around one of the community's treasured nature habitats known as Sweezey's Nature Area, aka Sweezey's Pond, which is located southwest of the high school athletic fields. Now we will wander from Riverside South across State Road to Riverside North, where just under 200 feet inside the main gate you will find the Heney Mausoleum, which contains the remains of Thomas Heney Sr., born in Dublin, Ireland, 1828 to 1911. Mr. Heney shares the tomb with his second wife, Mary Ryan Heney, 1850 to 1930. Mr. Heney's first wife, Bridget Shelby Heney, 1824 to 1892, is buried at Mount Calvary Cemetery in Hastings. Reading now from an obituary published in the Grand Rapids Herald in 1911. During the last few weeks, many old soldiers have answered the last roll call. The latest one is Thomas Heney, aged 82. Mr. Heney, who has resided since the early days on a farm at the west end of the city limits, was a well-known character. Born in Dublin, Ireland, he came to Hastings while a young man. At the outbreak of the rebellion, he enlisted in Company C, 1st Michigan Engineers and Mechanics, and served throughout the war. He was thoroughly posted on history, and on a trip to England created considerable stir by his public declarations against England's rule in Ireland. Several years ago, he built a handsome granite mausoleum in Riverside Cemetery, in which his body will be laid to rest.
The Knights of Pythias was founded during the Civil War in Washington, D.C., and was the first fraternal organization to be chartered by an act of Congress. Justice H. Rathbone founded the group based on the legend of Damon and Pythias, a Greek story of honor and friendship. Membership in the organization required a belief in a supreme being and was open to men in good health. During the high point of fraternal groups, the Knights of Pythias had close to 1 million members, but once interest in secret societies died off, numbers dropped. There were fewer than 200,000 members by 1980. Today there are more than 2,000 lodges in the world with membership over 50,000. The Knights of Pythias still exist in more than 20 states in the U.S. along with international groups. The Pythians provide camps for underprivileged children and homes for older members. The American Cancer Society is the national charity of the group.
Reading now from the June 10, 1897 Hastings Banner article. Sunday, June 20th, will be observed by the Knights of Pythias of Burial Lodge number 13 as Memorial Day. They have 10 brother knights buried in Riverside Cemetery. The lodge has purchased a burial lot in the new addition. The lot is in the form of a triangle. Supreme Chancellor Philip T. Colgrove presented his lodge with a magnificent granite monument to be placed upon their lot. Reading now from an email from John Forney, the Grand Secretary of the Knights of Pythias of Michigan. Many lodges had a Pythian lot in the local cemetery for their members and their spouses to be buried. The burial lodge was chartered in January of 1875. One member, Philip Colgrove, went on to be the Grand Chancellor of Michigan in the 1887-89 term. Burial Lodge number 13 surrendered their charter on May 29, 1942. James Albert Sweezey whom we mentioned earlier in this edition, organized the Buried Lodge of the Knights of Pythias. Just a little further down the main drive of the cemetery, past the Heney Mausoleum and the Knights of Pythias monument, you will see the Pierce Mausoleum, which is occupied by Bill and Jesse Pierce. In 1988, the Pierces formed the Willard G. Pierce and Jesse M. Pierce Foundation as a way to give back to the community that meant so much to them. The Pierces passed away in 1998, but prior to their deaths, the idea of building an environmental education center was conceived while visiting a friend's home and enjoying the natural beauty of Barry County. The foundation operates the Pierce Cedar Creek Institute, an environmental education center on 661 acres south of Hastings, along with providing support for 3 other institutions that were close to Bill and Jesse's hearts: First Presbyterian Church, Charlton Park, and Love Incorporated. In 1961, Bill, along with Doug DeCamp and 5 other partners, formed FlexFab, a company manufacturing and marketing hose and ducting. Jessie was the typical wife and mother of the 1950s and 60s. According to her pastor, she had 4 loves: God, the church, her community, and her family. She was a warm heart and unpretentious personality. Being a wife and mother were most important to her, and she performed each role with warmth and humor. Unfortunately, both Bill and Jessie died in early 1998, months before the purchase of the property. But because of their vision and generosity, Pierce Cedar Creek Institute was built and is an asset not only for those of Barry County, but for anyone who strives to appreciate and learn from the natural world.
And now the bonus section. The next few pictures are of some of the monuments, graves, and urns that we may cover in our next Riverside Cemetery video. If any of them look familiar to you and you have any information about them, please leave a comment below. Additionally, leave a like for this video, as well as please become a subscriber along with a click on the notifications bell. As always, we thank you for watching and helping us build our channel base. This has been a Senior Adventures video production, your channel for camping, adventure, and unusual exploration videos.